And our KTVU political analyst Brian Sobel is here now. So Brian, your overall impression, they had a little bit more elbow room tonight, 10 candidates on stage. Any clear winner?
Not a clear winner, but more relaxed. A little bit more substance. I thought Elizabeth Warren had a very good night. I thought Joe Biden held his own. You know, he's the front runner, and he still hasn't been knocked off that pedestal yet. Bernie Sanders had a pretty good night. Then it started to fade. Pete Buttigieg had a very good night.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about, Brian. Is this really a race just between Sanders, Warren, and Biden? We have Pete Buttigieg now leading in Iowa, but do you think he's a viable candidate, or is it really just those big three?
We're going to see over time. I mean, he's doing well in Iowa in the polling, and he's doing well in New Hampshire, and he's starting to catch some steam. Whether that stays with him over time, we will see. But you still always have to go back to the front runners. That's where the money is. That's where the party support is, and Joe Biden still enjoys that for the time being.
Yeah, Pete Buttigieg lacks support, though, it seems, with the African-American community.
Yes.
That would have to change in order for him to gain ground.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when it comes to the front runners, Warren, Sanders, Biden, the next debate is December 19th. What do they have to do now to start really trying to separate themselves and pulling away from each other? Because at this point, you start to have to gain some traction.
Absolutely. 5 debates now completed. There's been some dust-ups, but I call it forums where a debate breaks out every so often. They really have to start differentiating themselves.
And how do they do that?
Well, by really saying, you know, I don't agree with you on this, and doing it consistently through the debate. This whole idea that we're going to just agree all the way along doesn't separate people from one another.
Brian, I'm curious, what are your thoughts about Michael Bloomberg entering the race? Is that a sign that maybe these top Democratic frontrunners aren't really as good as people had hoped?
It's a sign that some people in the Democratic Party feel like what we're seeing in these debates may not be the final people who will decide or who will end up as the candidate at the top of the ticket or as a vice presidential candidate because otherwise Bloomberg would be told, hey, there's no room for you here. But people are telling him there is an opportunity, and you know, there's still a flicker of hope in Democratic circles when you talk with people that somehow Hillary Clinton could reemerge down the road. You know, in a convention situation where they couldn't come to a consensus. You never know, but that's, of course, a very long shot.
All right, well, still a long way to go. We'll have to leave it at that, and the next debate coming up on December 19th.
Absolutely, right here in California.
Brian, thank you.
Thank you.